Hello, Sarah Klein here. I am making a commitment for 2025 to share one Yoga Sutra a week in order from the first chapter, the Samadhi Pada. The book is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Now, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali are a key text in the study in the discipline of yoga. And a way to look at the sutras as a whole is a map or a guide to the potential for human consciousness. And a sutra is not even a complete sentence. Essentially, there's 196 Yoga Sutras, there's 4 chapters, and each one is a bullet point, and each one really answers the question that would follow after the previous sutra. And so for 2025, I will be sharing one sutra a week. So I hope you follow along. Make sure to comment, to share, to like, and yeah, let's drop in. Okay, so first sutra is Atta Yoga Nushasanam. Atta Yoga Anu Shasanam. Atta Yoga Anu Shasanam. Atta means now. And just like all of these sutras, we can be very exacting with them, very simple, very direct, and we can expand upon them endlessly. And my intention for these videos is to be short and concise. So know that there's so many other ways that these sutras can be revealed and open to you. So by no coincidence is the first word now. The great journey, the great exploration of yoga, which yoga, the second word, means union. Yoga is an experience. It's a consciousness. It's not something we do. That's a misunderstanding. We do the practices, we do the methods, and the practice itself is to return to the now. To the now. Now, something to note is the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali have many texts that have come before it in the art and the science of yoga. So it's a continuation, and as I personally deepen my own studies into the sutras, it's nice to remember that there's some concepts that Patanjali covers that he assumes one has exposure to when they get to the Yoga Sutras. So the gateway to the experience of unity consciousness, the gateway to the experience of yoga is in the present moment. Now, another way to take this introduction is all that you have done, all that has occurred before has brought you to this very moment right now where you're ready. You're ripe to receive these beautiful, empowering teachings of yoga. Another aspect to Atta Yoga Anushasanam is that it's the call, and the symbol for the call is the conch shell. The call is to all. All are welcome to this path of yoga, and only come if you're really ready. If you're really ready to take this on to the heart, because change, growth, transformation, it's inevitable on this path. So step with care. So we've got Atta Yoga Anu, a word very close to my heart these days, has many, many different meanings. And here it's saying, let's follow along with the teachings. Come, join this path that has been beaten down from all of the great masters who have come before us. It's lit by their individual lights of experience. You don't have to walk it alone, and you don't have to make it harder on yourself. Follow these teachings that are laid out for you. Another aspect to Anu, the Sanskrit word, and it's important to know that any Sanskrit word has like 30 definitions. So there's so many ways to enliven these teachings within inside of us. But Anu means atom, and it's pointing to the potential of something, really the potential of you as an individual, the potential of consciousness. And so like a forest began with one oak tree, or one forest began with one seed to an oak tree. That seed of any oak tree holds the potential for a whole forest. So Anu is pointing to the potency, the effectiveness, the piercing and direct application of these practices. They work. They're strasta, and that would be another aspect to this Hatha Yoga Anushasanam, is that these teachings are poignant. They're like an arrow where they're effective and they hit you right at the core. They're strasta. So, and then nam means to revere. So Ramajati Virnan's translation of the sutra as is, and now we will follow along with the teachings or the scriptures of yoga and revere them. So a piece that I would like to add on to this that's been really alive for me this week in regards to this sutra is an idea of yoga as the study of origin. Yoga as the study of origin. I'm going to give a couple examples moving from gross to subtle that hopefully will help to land this. So, a common saying in yoga is that this process is about uncrumpling consciousness. So you can think of a piece of paper uncrumpled, and we're ironing it out for clarity. And the visual I have with this idea is of yoga as the study of origin is our chitta, which we'll get into next week, is our personal energetic field. It's our thoughts, it's our bodies, it's our whole system. Can get a little knotted and twisted. And so if you think of a ball of yarn that's all knotted and twisted and wrapped around itself, to find the source or to find the center or to find the origin, to clean it up, we've got to follow each thread. And so an example on the physical body is through the practice of asana. When one starts asana on a consistent, devoted level, as they progress, maybe some injuries start, some aches, some pains start to reveal. Now, a mild student, another sutra we'll cover this year, there's mild, medium, intense students, and a mild student would be like, yoga hurt me, I'm done, and walk away. A more committed student would recognize that the repetitive nature of an asana, a consistent asana practice, starts to reveal our imbalances. And so it starts to show us what side of the body or what joint or muscle group is tending to work harder and do more and carry the heavy lifting, where what side or muscle group or joint is actually asleep and not participating. And so through the consistent devotion of a repetitive asana practice, we start to see our imbalances. And once we see them, we can work with them and create more balance in our body, which creates more ease and stability, which is what we're looking for here. So take it a layer deeper. Why do we do what we do when we know what we know? Great question. If we can follow our habits back to their origin, we can get clear at what these repetitive thoughts are that drive us into certain behaviors, certain moods, certain attitudes. Where does our fear lie? Where do our passions lie? And so this process of really self-inquiry through the discipline of yoga is taking all aspects of the chitta and following them back to the origin. And this book of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali is a book of the study, the origin of human consciousness. And when we're able to take that thread back to its origin, that's where we get clarity. That's where we come home to source. So yoga is the study of origin. Studying oneself. And the word yoga, which means union, one of my teachers, Annie Pace, described that as First and foremost, which the methods of yoga do so well, is cultivating unity with this package. So finding the integration between our movement and our breath, our mind and our body, and coming back to that atta, that now, that presence again and again and again. And doing that, the grand goal, which will be spelled out in this chapter of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, or the objective that we're looking to move towards, is the integration of this package with that package, the grand mushing, or the grand experience of unity. All right, so follow along. Please, again, do comment, share, like. I want to hear from you. I'm really psyched to take this journey and to make this commitment to sharing one sutra a week. I will do my best to keep it compact and